Hello, my name is Bruce Niemi, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a stainless steel sculptor, and I have been sculpting as a professional since 1974. I had my very first outside art show with grown-ups, actually. But the start is, my dad was an ornamental iron artist, and did custom welding, and in 1960 he began doing abstract sculptures, and I was exposed to that, and I don't know how to put it. I fell in love with it, and he would take me to shows. I was being introduced to all types of artwork, in a very young age. In 1968, he taught me how to weld, and I did my very first sculpture. It was a tree, which I still have and it's a wonderful little sculpture still. And I went to, from there on, he was teaching me through high school and college, not college, but when I was home, I was learning from him, but also things that were important to me in life. Art was a very major part of it, but I was also a collegiate wrestler, which helped me to have discipline, and it gave me a scholarship to Northern Illinois University, which was wonderful. I had tremendous teachers there. Dr. Bruce White, who's a well-known sculptor, and he was one of my main inspirations in that period of my life. And he inspired me a lot because he was a teacher. He was really good at it, but he was also out there in the art world, placing large-scale public artwork, which was one of my first things to give me that inspiration that I want to be a sculptor, and I want to be making big sculptures. And they don't have to be big, but it really is a thing about me that's really stuck. I mean, I'm still loving to do big artwork, and my body's starting to tell me I got to slow down. I'm working on a big piece right now, and it's like I'm 65 years old, and I'm still thinking I'm probably 25. Yeah, but I'm not. But I really love creating. And it doesn't have to be something. I work a lot just with form. I work in stainless steel, bronze. I sometimes mix those two metals together. In the earlier years, I was working with steel, mild steel, and but I got tired of the rust, and I really liked the cleanness of stainless steel, and also bronze, which isn't necessarily clean looking, but it has different patinas I can put on it, and I put the two together occasionally. It's to add color and life, and so at this point right now, I'm still, like I said, I'm still working, and I'm welding, grinding, picking up too much weight with the metal, but I'm currently been commissioned to do a piece for the Western Theological Seminary in Holland, Michigan, and I got about a month and a half to go before it has to be done. So I'm a little anxious, but I'm very excited about having it on the campus. The piece is titled Glory, and it'll be 15 feet tall, about 7'6" wide and deep, and it's all made out of stainless steel. And as all goes well, it'll be installed in August. It better be, or I think I'll be in big trouble. But so to go on to more about my artwork, I love things to be positive and uplifting. I do my best to inspire people to look at the work and ask themselves, well, what is this, and try to, just interpret it. It doesn't, a lot of people want to have a title for it, which I do put titles on them, but I'd rather have people tell me what they see. And like, again, I like to make things that are positive, uplifting, and that actually glorify God. And it's very important to me because he gave me a gift to be creative, and he gave me the right father that would push me and teach me almost everything I had to know. And he actually did some pretty good artwork in it, in his time. So I look up to him immensely. So getting out of college, it took, I didn't start out being an artist right away. I mean, I was doing some shows here and there, and had to do some other things to make a little bit of a living. But I started doing a lot of shows, and then I initially I met my future wife, and she really did a lot of inspiring work on me, telling me that I'm really good at this stuff and I should really put more time in it. And in 1987, I believe, I pretty much went full time on being an artist. And thankfully, I was not after doing anything else. I was able to make a living on the arts. The way of making the living, though, was driving around the country to jury art shows, and then get back in the truck, get home, make some more artwork, and go after public sculptures was one of the things I did. And so about the public sculptures, that started happening pretty soon after we got married. Right now I have 55 public sculptures placed around the country. And there was one piece I want to tell about, because it was my very first main public sculpture. It's the Eternal Flame War Memorial. It's in Worth, Illinois. A gentleman came up to me at an art show. I got to tell the story because it's funny. This gentleman came up to me and said, "You can do it, you can do it." And I'm like going, he had a very strong Polish accent, and he was a World War II veteran. And he said, and I said, "Well, what can I do?" And he said, "You can do the Eternal Flame War Memorial," but a lot more accent. And the glory about this is I created the first war memorial. It honors the veterans of all wars and conflicts. So it's 25 feet tall. It had 5 separate pieces, one for each branch of the service. And that was like a major jump in my career, because I think it was 4 months later, I got a commission from St. Charles, and it was called Interim. It was another large-scale piece. It was like, 16 by 20 by 16. So all of a sudden, I'm in the papers and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff helped my career to start moving forward, as opposed to going the wrong way. So I've been very blessed in that part. And one of the best thing is the inspiration that Susie gives me. That's my wife. So for the last 25 years, my wife Susie has been my business manager, and she's been one of my main, obviously one of my main ways to keep on going strong. She's always encouraging, and sometimes she says, "You got to get going on this stuff," so she is, she's what I need for inspiration. And but one thing my dad taught me, he said, to figure out what you want to do and do it, and make a living at it. And it came true, as work hard at it. Something I love to do, and that is art. And I've done. I never really painted. I mean, I could paint when I was in college. I learned how to do that, but um, the only painting I ever really got into then was painting some stuff on my sculptures, which I don't do often, but I have painted that, and it's it's been those were successful, the paint work, and someday I'll be doing some of that. I'll be starting to slow down, I believe, at some point. I know I will, but Susie's actually been encouraging me to work a little bit lighter, and I'm starting to realize this old body's got to slow down. But the thing is, I can still do it, and if any other big projects come along, I'll have to take some people on to help me. And I've realized that, and but I look at it though, it's still my brain that's creating the stuff. They're just going to have to do the hard work that I do. My goal professionally at this time of my career is to continue to create one-of-a-kind sculptures that people will love and buy and enjoy life so with them. And I just thank everybody, especially the Lily Pad right now, for backing me and taking care of me. I really appreciate that, your whole community there. It's been a blast being with you guys. Thank you very much, and take care.